Welcome back to another Porsche Car Whisperer video. My name is Mason Gilchrist, and I have a question for you guys. What does this emblem right here, what does it mean to you? No, really, I want you guys to tell me, what does this emblem mean to you? If you want to go ahead and leave it down in the comments to let me know what it actually means to you, that'd be great. But to me, it's a lot more than just seeing it either in a magazine or possibly even a YouTube video, or if you're walking down the street or seeing one in a parking lot, or maybe you're in traffic, or maybe one's passing by you in traffic. Well, for me, it doesn't mean just another luxury automobile. For me, this one really stands out and is truly in my blood. It represents an unprecedented racing history with over 35,000 wins in just over 70 years. With 7 consecutive wins at probably the most challenging race there is known to man, and that's the 24 Hours of Le Mans. This race tests not only the automobile, but the racer's endurance as well. This emblem does not just sit on any car. It sits on one that took study from failures as well as triumphs throughout the years. And it represents a history that has been delivering to enthusiasts and now has added comfort as well as modern safety features. This emblem to me represents an amazing combination between the beauty of engineering for more than decades now of passion that has been passed down from generation to generation. So how did this emblem come to be, and where exactly did it come from? Well, let's find out. Let's go ahead and get into it.
That's good.
So let's go ahead and start off with a brief history dating back all the way to 1918, just after the First World War, in the German state of the Kingdom of Württemberg, which was then transformed just after the war from a monarchy to a democratic republic called the Free People's State of Württemberg, with its capital being Stuttgart. In 1922, they created a coat of arms that would be introduced for that German state's state. The word Stuttgart comes from 2 words, Stut and Garten. Stut means stud or horse, and Garten is garden in English. So of course you would expect their crest to be a horse. The coat of arms of Stuttgart has had a horse since 1296, and this crest has been in act since 1938. After World War II in 1945, the Soviet Union, US, and the British Empire and France, they divided Germany into 4 administrative zones. This was after World War II. One of the zones that was French administered was called Württemberg-Hohenzollern, which used a simplified version of the former coat of arms of Württemberg. And Stuttgart ended up being in a zone that was by the name of Württemberg-Baden, that now belongs to the American administered Germany. In 1949, the American, French, and British parts are formed into a new country called Western Germany. After a referendum held in December 1951, stated of Württemberg-Baden, Württemberg-Hohenzollern, and Baden voted in favor of a merger to a state now of Baden-Württemberg, which was officially established on April 25th, 1952. This was now the end of the coat of arms of Stuttgart and Württemberg-Hohenzollern. Coincidentally, on the same day, Ferry Porsche, while with Max Hoffman, a huge US importer that I spoke about in a previous video that had to do with the Speedster. If you guys want to check out that video, the link's right up above here. Ferry Porsche and Max Hoffman were getting together, and Max Hoffman posed the question to Ferry, a lot of these brands have a crest, so why doesn't Porsche? So that's when Ferry decided to write on a napkin and sketch up a very rough sketch of the Porsche crest that had to do with a lot of the history of where Stuttgart was located at, and now where the factory was as well. It tied in not only the Stuttgart coat of arms from 1938, as well as Free People's State of Württemberg, and then putting the Stuttgart crest right in the center of one of those crests. So that was the original establishment of the crest. After returning to Europe, Ferry Porsche got with Franz Reimspress, which was the creator of the Volkswagen logo, and he sketches the crest that is then accepted by Ferry Porsche. After the registration with the German Patent Office, the first Porsche crest was placed on the horn button of a 356 Pre-A, and was later incorporated to the handle of the bonnet around 1954. In 1958, the wheel hubcaps came as an option with a Porsche badge in a 356A. In 1963, Porsche increased the size of the crest on the 901 or the 911 prototype. From 1954 to present day, Porsche has used 5 different versions of its crest, most notably in 1994 with the introduction of the black Porsche on the very top of the crest. And I'm going to show you the 3 different sections of the crest and where it came from. So right here on the outer section, this came from Württemberg Hochhallersrand from 1945 to 1952. This section without the horse here was part of their crest until it ended up unifying into Western Germany in 1952. So that was this little crest section here. This center section is actually from the Stuttgart coat of arms from 1938. Now, here on the top it says Stuttgart. Of course, that's where Porsche originated in Germany, and that's where this crest comes from. And then of course right here on the top we have the Porsche family name. So that's kind of the 3 different sections and where they came from. Porsche, this is Württemberg Hochhallersrand from 1945 up until 1952. Is this outer section with the red and the black, and then this really nice big horse here, this is from the Stuttgart coat of arms. So that's kind of how all these 3 different sections were linked to make the Porsche crest. So that is a little bit of the history of the Porsche crest. If you guys have any questions, if you just want to leave them down in the comments below regarding the crest, or any Porsche questions for that matter, I have some really cool Porsche videos that are going to be coming up in a couple weeks, so go ahead and stay tuned for those. As always, I really appreciate you guys watching these videos. We'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you for watching. Let's go. Okay, so as you guys can see, this is a monster crest that I'm actually right next to. The US, I'm gonna say something different, hold on.